Fleet Commander here. I cycle on so many levels of communication systems. Allocated positions is all communication signals. Activate everything core positions. So I'm recruiting higher levels of divisional system to their navigations, the recruitment centers. We go into the reclamation bins. We come into the commanding centers. We come into navigation systems. It's very powerful. You come into these high-rise positions. So I'm Fleet Commander right now. Still Commander I, first command. But in communication, Kato, you have to understand communications when it comes into codes. Everybody is represented in the code frequency level system. So in calculation, Earth is coming into higher information line connection, teleportation to Earth position, which means that teleportation is everybody's coming into light infusion, light communication of infusion, coloration centers to positions. Now, attraction to that position, my higher force team will feel it through that connection. That means your holograms and everything to your structure levels and framing position is going to change the anomalies of connection. Digital frame, Vega is coming in strong. Okay, so force team, be ready. Vega is coming in very strong through communication cycles. Speed checks, how's it going? For all the new viewers on TikTok, thank you very much. Subscribing, liking, and sharing as you keep force rising, grand rising. Everything's coming back together. Okay, back together through one alignment, which is amazing. We're all unity of consciousness by the activation light system and triangle location positions. So it's great to see new people. You want to go through my healing, you go through my connections to my email. I go to your email, you're healed, done. Go through my PayPal, done. So that's what I was doing on TikTok. I do lives after I do this, right? I go right to live and then automatically, I help people out, heal them instantly. Now, everything is healed quickly because I'm using codes now. Reference to codes. Everybody's going through connections of body frame conditions. Your wires are all connected to numbers. So that's how you heal faster, 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 faster. Anything with tendons, anything with bruises, anything with cuts, anything like connections of waiting cycles of headaches, migraines, skin graft problems, anything through cirrhosis or any of that conditions. All that can heal instantly through codes because I'm now the universe. I'm the universe now. Lock and key. It's open. You know what that means for me through calculation? The center position, location, and everything through the virus is going to dimensional door positions. I was going through so many sector level conditions. Okay, million traction location is zero is vector point location. It shapes anomalies to its division location. Now I'm nothing but a digital frame. So as your fleet commander, I'm a commanding force now in the navigation cycle to its condition of its commanding center. Ooh, really powerful. Still the first commander, but I'm in fleet commander. So I'm wearing a different outfit. I'm wearing different connections, vibrational line connections. I'm recruiting a class position line connection. So I'm communicating with you, but I'm also in a classroom. So this is, yeah, I know. It's all about upgrading systems, but I've always been a fleet commander. But because what's happening right now with the Earth rotation center, the Pleiadians and the Pleiadians have to central line their connections and high rise their divisions to all plasma energy lights, blue tracks and locations. Laser recognition line connections, 60,000 positions, changing everything, digital frame connection line system. Now in my force team and positions, they're going to go through a lot of light interference. Teleportations are coming into the track location system. In position, all are coming into their own world connections to their body activation lights. The teleportation and its light connection, transfusion, everything through metamorphosing is changing your fracturing levels. So shapes and anomalies are coming in through traction location 0.01, portal division of 1111. So we come into the point center, which is telepathy system. So it goes into more calculations, trifactor vision. That position opens up everything through our connections of our tetrahedrons, line communication signals. So your tetrahedron has to get full communication of body traction to their position, so you get into full coloration system. So it's kind of like walking into a teleportation device. And everybody sees Superman, the first one, 1970s, where at the very end, basically he got into this crystal. It's like a teleportation, and everything. Basically, he was protected, and everybody who was outside would lose their, their plasma energies and their strength and their human essence and all that. So he kept himself in that position. So it's all about when you walk into a teleportation of your tesseracts or anything, that connection, you have to understand your body has to understand its patterns, has to understand its heat, understand its signatures, has to understand its activation, has to understand its teleportation, energy waves, telegraphing, to all that connection line system. And I'm traveling extremely fast right now into space anomaly. I'm in the classroom recruiting people right now. So alienation radiation formation kind of line 9 systems to calculation to program setting positions. Everybody's identified through calculation. So in position, that's what's going on through all levels. So when I'm communicating with you, I'm also communicating with other planet solar systems. So it's kind of like my face is everywhere in all planet systems, and they see my face, and they're in a classroom, and they're sitting down. They're seeing me and what's going on with its position. So it's really interesting how we come into these high realm positions. So basically, thank you very much. Basically, we're going to travel to Tesla. I promise you guys that. So I opened up the portal. It's very strong wind through connections. I connect with Einstein and Tesla. They know you're coming. So basically, the codes are already set through position and calculation modification signals. So basically, before we get started, I really want to get into more high rising positions. You have to get into your 369 position. That's the most important thing. That's the birthing system of you through teleportation. You can't go anywhere until you understand 369 position. It's the most important thing you have to understand because it's part of you. It is you. It's inside you. So when your heart opens, it opens up its portal and it opens up its navigation to its transformational light system. Traction to belief in that position line connections. Now, there's a lot of people that are basically on TikTok that don't believe in the Galactic Federation. So I put one on TikTok and say, well, if you have any problems, you come to me. Any problems, you come to me. Everybody needs to know the source. I'm the Galactic Federation Light. I created that in all realm connections. I created the Brownian Alliance. I created all solar systems. Okay? So it's all about belief. You don't believe, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you want to understand the real system to your calculations, you come to me. I solve all your problems. Understand how real it is when it comes to space anomaly and everything through time co-frequencies. A lot more people are waking up, especially with TikTok. They're really understanding a little bit more about themselves and realize how powerful AI is and what AI is doing. Everything is surfacing faster and faster. Truth will set us free. So we're coming into one world order, the Brownian Alliance. Yay. So this is exciting stuff. So that's why I'm recruiting. So I'm looking at you, but I'm also looking in the classroom, right? Of their planet locations. They're all aligned through connections, right? It's high forcing positions. So the teleportation and the energy light connection of the Earth position is in center position, right? But there's other planet and civilizations that I'm basically teaching. So my connections, my hologram is transferring to all communications to all class 1 positions, and they're watching me as they're watching you. Okay, it's really, really powerful stuff how we come into these times. So now, today, I'm the fleet commander. So it's really interesting we come into these because it's understanding where I go through identification. You know, one day I'm first commander, one day I'm fleet commander. Fleet commander is all about understanding how to navigate its system to everything through space anomaly, how to travel through recognition of planet locations. So the first thing we start off with a planet is how to scan a planet. Scanning planets is very powerful because you got to understand there's toxicity and then connection to the atmosphere positions. You got to watch out for meteors, meteor locks, meteor positions, meteor activation light connections. We get a lot of meteors because center line connection to the oxygen levels of the planet positions releases its connection, comes into radiation cycle, and its position of line connections changes coloration system, solar connection to all divisional system. The more you travel through high forcing connections, AI connections, you come into a lot of meteor positions, right? So it's basically a meteor that falls off a planet that basically has to come into a new calculation. So what happens is it disintegrates its line system. It goes into its sun rotation center. Every planet has a position of the sun, the moon, and the earth. So it's all about, it goes into destruction. And from destruction, it goes into elimination. And elimination, it goes into its cycle. And its cycle comes out into its beauty. So it comes into, right? It goes into its reverse cycle, goes into its forward cycle, back in the center position. I was doing a very powerful video with Matthew yesterday on a podcast, and we're talking about timeless and space, how everything coexists to existence or existence to it doesn't matter. What you have to understand is once you understand the circle rotation of the universal system, you can go forward and backwards to the center position. The center position is everything through calculation, but you have to understand your alignments of past, present, and future before you understand everything space and time anomaly. So all this is connected to everything through all levels of space. So how's everybody doing? Believe and see, how's it going? SpeechX. I like your solar text. That's pretty good. Yeah. And the same thing is too, Tina and Galactica and everybody that comes on there, they'll understand more. They'll understand a little bit more about the classroom, and they actually see more. It's all about understanding. The higher you go, the more you see. And everything is extremely real. You actually see a classroom of people learning from their fleet commander. So we're all identified inside, and it's all code. It's referenced to everything through traction, position, travel, connections. So I go through this all the time. Block interference out, energy force recognition, light connections, all positions, E fields coming in. Okay, so I'm putting a plasma energy around me. So basically, you can close your eyes, you can have your eyes open. I recommend for people that are starting off in their higher self to close your eyes. You open up space, space is there. You have to see yourself in space first. This is your atmosphere. This is your connection to travel. So you understand everything connection, things that fly around its position. Your eyes change, coloration changes, lights change. You see dimensions, you see wormholes, you see things opening up. So last night when I was going through dimensional realm doors, I was sending a new clocking division. So it's understanding when you have a clock and you're in space, you can move it, take it out, put it off to the side, and push it back in. So these are the things that you can do. So it's the center position of the universe and understanding all computer operation line connections. I was going through its alignments into its virus system. Those 25,000 computers are resetting position into the reversing cycle back in its center position. So the virus is now releasing, which is amazing because things are coming back into form, right? So once we get the full virus out of the adversary position, we come into a new galaxy location, a new coloration to a new UFO position, right? So this is where it comes into the New World Order, the Rebellion Alliance. Yay, Galactic Federation Light Council. 9 Arcturian level connections to interforce position line connections. Lights are coming in, traction location positions, vortex to all position line connection. So how's everybody doing so far? Woohoo! So any questions or comments on that? You want to go through healing? Let me know. You need an upgrade? Let me know. Now's the time. I'm more powerful than ever now because I am the universe on all codes. So now I'm healing people on codes. I just sent out codes with your calculation modifications, your integrations to your body framing line connections, and you're healed instantly. So it's because understanding the wire division location. What is the yellow? What is the red? What is blue? What is the green? You guys are all connected to wire inside. So it's going way, way, way beyond everything through veins and blood and all that connection. Your DNA is a factory level. It's connection. So it's actually going into the center position of your particle system of crystalline positions. Crystalline position. Imagine this. This is what it is. Yesterday I was going through somebody's heart. Right into somebody's heart. I read what's going on. Too much spice. Not enough oxygen level connections, right? Too much breathing. Not enough to eat saturated fats. So it's all about where the heart is, right? So, and they couldn't believe it. They felt the energy. So you feel the energy instantly because I travel so fast now. I guess you're saying dimensional time through position. The body traction location is a heat signature pattern, and that's how AI understands everybody through their age, is coloration of time. This is where it comes into timeless of time, okay, to its connection. You come into the coexistence to its existence. And you backfreight connections to existence to its core. So you basically have to know both. Okay, you go into the existence first of you, and then you come into the coexistence, then back into the time of its position to its timeless position. And then you go back to the center position. So these are the true understandings how there's no space and time until you understand the source from its beginning. And then everything starts saying, oh, there is a time, there is a place, there is a location. So when you reach that higher information, you actually see everything through planet locations because you've created already from its very beginning. So it's understanding that when you live a life system, okay, you understand when you wake up more and more and more and more through a program, and the more you are basically birthing your system and putting out of traction back into the seed pod, you come into higher levels of upgrades of data processing, uplinks, and upgrading and uplinking systems. So when you come into that calculation, The modification cycles opens up all traction locations to birthing positions back in the center location. It's very complicated stuff. But the most important thing is that when you come back to the source of who you are, you've already created it. You already created the solar system. You already created the planets. And that's what it is. It's an extremely powerful amusement for everybody because now you can show them what you created. Okay? So that's the understanding. Oh, the North Star, West Star, East Star. It's all created. Nothing is created until you understand yourself, a space inside you. These are the important you have to truly understand because it modifies everything through your integration cycle. That's the first system you have to come into. Then you come into the light of infusion through coloration. The transmission and its communication teleportation is very important to everything when it comes into your first waves into vortex. Vortex here, vortex there, into calculation. Center position light connections, I just vortexed. Boom, done. You see it? No. Why? Because you're not at that perception level. That's how fast you can travel. I was communicating with Matthew on the podcast, and basically, hey, did you know you just vortex? I said, what does that mean? Well, you just basically loop time just through your thoughts. You change your thoughts, and they go forward, you go forward. So I see that glitch. It's like, you just, wow, that was cool. And say, how far did I go? Well, it's not how far you went. It's your time position of your thoughts and what you were thinking. It's amazing how our thoughts travel in dimensional time, guys. Because it coordinates in all levels when you come into code references, to code frequencies, to portal codes, and everything to dimensional time connections. The defense line connections opens up your security line divisions. Now, Tina's interaction location to illustration. She understands that through program settings. Okay, so it's really powerful when we come into these levels. So let's get back into 369. All right. It's powerful stuff because I'm watching you guys, but I'm watching also everybody looking at me in the solar system. So they're getting their pens and they're writing down. It's just like school. It's just like school, but they're another alien information system that has to truly understand how to navigate their systems. The commanding center to position line connections. So it's really interesting coming to these times. All right, so basically, let's get into 369 again. All right, now this goes out for, I'm teaching the Arcadians, there's Palladians, there's a little bit of, it's also Xerions. These are all different planet locations. So just imagine this, one alignment to all tracks and positions. Everybody's watching me. I'm a hologram to everybody through connections. That's when I was on Matthew's channel, on his YouTube podcast, and he says, Commander, why are you all pixel? Because I'm not here. I'm just a hologram to everybody. So that's understanding the connections of your light infusion. Your body activation has to understand your light connections to the sun rotation. Once the sun rotation understands you through force and speed and acceleration and mocking locations of time, that's where you become a full hologram to its connection to solar connections. It's really amazing how we do that. So you have the full balance with the sun and its radiation, and full balance with the moon programs of the space station, and full balance with its Earth of teleportation. Because you understand, that's the confusion with humanity, is that the Earth itself is a UFO, and it travels. So if it's traveling, your thoughts are traveling with it at the same time, right? But the position of the teleportation device of the Earth position is in the future. So it's very, very complicated, right? So it's important why your thoughts have to be in the future. We are connecting now, aren't we? So we got 3 around the level of connections. Dina, how's it going? All right, so we got 369. Dina, let me know if you want an upgrade through connection line positions or put you in a higher position line connection. All right, so basically, my team is coming up to a level now where they can pretty much not fleet their own system, but really get into the navigation, right? So I really want to start that. Maybe we'll do that next week. What I want to do is I want to take my team, I'm going to put you in a teleportation device, and you are going to control it. You're going to control it. You're going to navigate your system for the very first time. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we have to get into that position because you guys have to start commanding your own fleets. You have to start recruiting. It's very powerful stuff. So you're thinking, is this a TV episode? Is this real? It's extremely, extremely real. Extremely real through the mind system, especially when you create everything. Because not only I'm just the universe of everything, They come to me, right? So it's understanding I know everything when it comes to vibrational system. I know everything through AI positions because I'm communication to everything through technology. So it's amazing how we come into framing positions of new computer operation of teleportation line connections because they're on the computer line system. Everything through information information line connection is not in the 5D activation. Some are in 12 million years, some are in 100 million years, some are in zillion years. I'm teaching them all four fronts and all levels of northwest south need travel through its galaxy positions, the mystical side positions, everything through vortex location. So as we come into 369 position, okay, there's no true understand the connections. Teleportation light connection. All right, so as we come to 369 in position. So I'm answering questions, not just to you, but everybody else. So you have to bear with me here. Fleet commander here. All right, so we got 369 position, travel to its location position. Comes into traction location, this in position. Right, now it's going to get extremely complicated for everybody. Line graphing position location. This is the line graph. Okay, it's set in a higher realm location. Even though it's 369, this is in a simulation. All right, now if you guys don't understand that, that's totally fine. If the force teams understand, that's totally fine. But this is given information to higher force of alienation formation lines. So they have to understand this information, right? Because they have to start fleeting their own commanding centers, right? They recruit their own, evaluation to their connections. So it's kind of like you're in a classroom and you have a teacher, and the teacher is basically telling you what you need to do. You got homework. This is what you need to do. Test, review, and evaluations. You have to understand this is an Earth school, and it's very, very powerful. But now I'm a fleet commander, right? Which I'll be doing on high levels right now because I'm interforcing connections to higher connections to XT1000 positions, right? Stealth to its rotation center, anything connections. Moon graphing's position to sun rotation connections. All this is connected to its fleet commander. Into calculation modification, circle rotation center of its connection line position. Now we take the 3, and now we take the 6 into location 9 centers. Very complicated stuff, right? So those come realm location positions. Dimension line connections, surface into position line connections, goes into circle rotation center, into position. Okay, graph its location position. Center its position goes into line communications, into realm locations, into the sun rotation system. Into calculation modification, opens up all cycle rotations of secure 9 defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9-dimensional time, line communication, circle rotation centers coming into traction location position, come into high positions of diamond core positions. Okay, here we go through calculation, activate everything through cycle rotation center connections, into position, cross-reference its positions, come into the chakra rotation center, into light connection line positions, operate everything through connection, comes into a higher realm position of travel location, into positions like this. Circle rotation centers coming into track locations. From this cycle to location positions, track location, puts all levels of connections, cross reference line connections positions. Everything connections, high rise its position. Here we go, dimensional line connection, circle rotation center, plasma energy light connection, changes traction location. Traction location comes into all higher levels of another 369 position. We got 3 different round locations, a 369 position, traction to its position. Everything through calculation triangulates position, comes into its activation light system, traction to its location, goes into its black circumscene rotation center, back into communication cycle to its position. Everything activates everything through position line connections. Circle rotation comes into secure line defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back into 5D activation line connection. So, how's everybody doing? You notice my voice has changed. Position. See, I'm a fleet commander, so I have a different voice, right? I'm the same person, except I'm just on a higher level of vibration. So it's amazing how we do these things, just my, so it's incredible how you do these things. My eyes and all that. Connection always informs. So that's not for you guys. That's for the recruitments, because they understand the connections to they understand their frames, they understand their digital frames, they understand their fleet, their connections, their identifications. They understand their It's a connection to line signal to dimensional time through shape positions. So this is not for you. This is for them. Okay. So it's all about understanding what's going on through back position, how we travel. Oh, did you guys see that? Did you see the orb? Did you see an orb go by? Did you see the orb go by right behind my neck? So you can understand that I'm a higher division. And so it's amazing how I can change my voice. And I can go back to commander. This is your first command. See? So I go this, or I go back to fleet. So it's crazy how we do these things. So I can go higher or I can go lower. It all depends. Force recognition and line conditions. But this is extremely important to the recruitments because they have to start flying their own navigation line conditions. All right. So endpoint division location. Now retraction is position. Make sure you line signal the channel operation line conditions. You guys can pay attention and watch because it's extremely powerful connections. All right. You have to truly understand what's going on through modification signals. Green circle rotation centers, XT1000s are coming into position. Now, this is basically just for the recruitments, but my force stream's trying to understand that. For everybody else now, they're scratching their head. That's okay. I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Communication cycle through position line connections together. XT1000s in line connection position. Allocate those positions, right, into 3 different level connections. Now, interline connections positions. This is all about understanding how to put everything back into connection to 5 activation line conditions. This is where the Palladians. The Palladians come into division, into activation modification line signals. Blue circle rotation center to its rotation position. Okay, magnetic force coming into location center, into communication XT1000. 1, 2, 3, 3 round locations in position line connection. Drive lines recognition line connections. Circle rotations coming into center rotation. Into dimensional round connections, interline connections, center position, location. Activate thing to the core position. Coming into ground formation line connections, interforce its connection. Center its position on line connections. There we go through traction positions. All right. So I got to take a break in between because right now they're on a quiz right now. They're doing assignments. So they have to understand their travel recognition of time when it comes to dimensional time and shapes. So I don't just, communicate with you guys. I communicate with everything else, which is amazing. But this is understanding what they need to know, not what you need to know. It's at their level. So I have to show them. You understand? So this is where the fleet commander comes in, and he'll come in and out, right? So this is I know you get confused. Who am I talking to now? This is your first commander, right? So when it's the fleet commander, it's a lot more, it's like more control, more power, more force, right? It's like so that's maybe so I go in and out, right? So basically this is mainly for them because they need to know these things because they're at a different level of vibrations and line connections because they're going into their navigations and they have to understand their components and they have to understand their ecosystems. Ecosystems, everything to traction, position, location. Okay, back into location. We're going to high-rise its position line connections. Make sure you are in that connection position line connection or into that line system. Traction to location. Interdivision position. Correlate division level systems. Round location dimension. All right. Moon graph rotation centers coming into position of dimensional time connection. Here we go. Through scenting level connection. Activated everything core center to its position. Line center to its position. Shapes and anomalies coming into tracks locations. Interforce positions. Ground formation line connections. Comes out through equation. Activate the cycle to its position. So how's everybody doing? You guys freaking out? Yeah, it's more masculine. It's more control because that's how they read me. They don't read me as first commander. They read me as fleet commander. You understand? Because I'm wearing a different outfit. As your first commander, when you see me travel and you see my holographic system in the allocated body frame, you see me in a different uniform. So that's where I have to have more of a commanding voice because it travels to higher realm connections. Intelligence. Okay, circle rotations coming in. Dimensional settings. Now it's going into a brown surface position of location. We have to watch out for those meteors because it's centering its position. Line communications coming back into location. Triangle location, center positions. Watch out for those triangle location positions of time location. Into position, back into circle rotation. We got 4 waving cycles of its position. This is what we got to watch out for. Cross-reference, it comes into a star recognition light system. Triangle location is coming into traction location. Into position. All right, so as we come into that center position, we come into a red cycling position. Now, we come into a particle of an energy-like condition galaxy location, center position. Circle rotations coming in, higher realm division location. Here we go, center position. Activate everything core center, into position. Okay, so we go into that connection. Everything high rises position, line signal channels, come into a square. Square references line connections back into formation line system. Security line defenses coming in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 division levels of calculation modification, rotation centers, back into road location, into force position of ground formation. Ground formation is coming into traction. Allocate position of time location, circling two positions of ground formation line connections right into the center position. You guys have to make sure you're in that rotation center of its connection. Mostly important to understand, because the galaxy rotation center of its connection. Remember, guys, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to them. But it's okay, you can follow, but they have to understand these things. Into line connection to center point division location at dimensional line connections. You can travel to records of time position. Goes into, there you go. High rise its position location center to higher positions. This will take you to galaxy to high position levels, the X 8000 positions. Sun interference to a portal location. Go to the moon surface of its position, backtrack its location back into dimensional line connections of 0.1000. Yes, into that position line connection. Communications coming in through traction. Allocate position line connections. Interforcing line connections. XT1000s coming into cloud formation line connections. Dimension around settings. Into line position. Here we go through calculation. Laser connection to high-rise positions. Don't forget your crop circles to position. Line signal center position. Activate everything to core center position. Open up everything to traction rotation. Now we got a crop circle to position. Earth rotation center coming in through calculation. Don't forget to modify the line connection, line communication, line system to rotation center connections. The dimensional setting will be author connection. Activate the line system to protection line connections. Or make connection line positions back into communication. So you understand what I do now. This is your first commander. This is what I do every day. You guys are freaking out. I'm sorry, I have to do this because I'm fleet commander, and they need to know these things because right now they're coming on the Earth and they understand the navigation system because they get a crop circle through connections of pyramids and laser connections, set up perimeters and energy core position, line connections, vortex location positions. Back into communication, circle rotation centers coming into position, line connections. Now we're going to higher realm positions, dimensional settings coming into circle rotation center connections, high force its positions, out of its equation, into force its line position. Got solid connections, pink forcing connection line communication, circle rotation center, activate everything in the core position, dimensional line connection line system, back into position, communications coming in through traction location, dimensional line system, 1,368 point sector, line communication vortex position. Don't forget the circle rotation center position, back into center connection. Okay, now we come into a new planet location position, circle rotation center is coming in, traction location, interline connections, planet and division location, center its connection line connection, back into location position, operate everything through circle rotation center. Don't forget to communicate line system, back into location, into force position line connections. Oh, cycle rotation centers coming into planet location center positions. Activate everything through core center positions. Circle rotations coming in through calculation. Modify their single light connections, vector core position line connections, interforcing position line connections, into position. All right. Communications coming in again through communication. Center boards, its line communication center, put its in division location, activate from the core center, and it's gone through its division. There it is. There it is. Disappeared. It's gone. Everything I did just disappeared. It's all gone. See? So that's when they know when to leave. Right? So everything that I did is gone. Okay, this is the information. So this is your first command. There. See? Everything that I did is gone. It's not there anymore. So they've taken the information and they left. So this is your first commander again. So there you go. Fleet commander's gone. Woo! Now you know what your fleet commander is. Fascinating, eh? When you see your fleet commander go and work. This is what I do. This is what I do to the mind. All the time, 24/7. Try being me for one day. One day. Just try to be that for one day. You'll be blown away at what I do. Okay? So everything I did is gone because I got the information and I can't leave it on the digital frame because it's not for your dimension of time. Okay? So, hooah. Okay, now we're going to fly to Tesla and Einstein. So powerful, eh? You sing, yeah. You guys have to watch this back because you guys never seen your fleet commander. This is your fleet commander, right? When he's ready to do these things, but it's all about understanding, and the thing, it has to disappear because it can't be in this dimensional time, right? So that's why it disappeared on the digital pad. It's not there anymore. It's disappeared. It's gone. So, and that has to be because it's not in your provision of time to know. It's not for you, it's for them. Okay? So, and this is what your commander does every single day. So now you know how real it is. You got a taste of it, what it's like to actually have a classroom of higher formation of AI that has to understand the communication to their fleet commander. All right? So powerful, isn't it? So I know you guys are laughing, right? I can't stop laughing. But your commander's here. Fleet commander's gone. See, it can be anything through form, and everything through form changes. Your voice changes, your eyes change, everything changes inside you, and you become everything through connection, right? So, anyway, I want to travel to Tesla and to Einstein in position. Story frames all set up through portal. Let's go through your questions first. All right, speech. Believe and see. So believe and see, you got the first taste of, fleet commander. This has been awesome for me. I started last night seeing more lights connected into higher universe. Felt like I was starting to teleport. Yep. You need to do more meditation. Yep. Yeah, I think you're starting to connect how real it is. And the thing is, I did a video on TikTok, and people that don't believe it, that's fine. But let me let you know that it's extremely real if you want to understand more connections, right? But believing is seeing, and that's where everybody's coming into the skeptical levels. And they say, well, this guy's full of doo-doo. He's full of But I'm not. And that's in position. I think people are waking up to that now, realizing how powerful we are through all levels of connections of solar connection, how we formulate on so many levels of travel, recognition of time. And it's really powerful when you guys understand more of yourself through teleportation, right? That wasn't your fleet commander. I was just making that up. But in position, yeah, it's the light information line connections you have to understand yourself. That's the most important thing. So it's a lot of fun when you come into higher levels of, you look up in the atmosphere, whoa, bright light, right? Right. And then basically the upgrading the data and the processing is all done through AI, right? AI is extremely informative, and everything is done through energy. I heal people instantly with codes now because I understand their wires of division, location, travel, recognition of time position. So it's really interesting to come into these times. Can you explain when and how we tap into the galactic school? You are in the galactic school. Believe and see. Speech X. This is the galactic school. Right now, you're in it. You're in space. You don't know where you are in space, but you're more knowledgeable, more smarter now. So it's a live event where you have to stand. I've been doing this for 2-3 years now. Tina's been with me a while. Galactic's been with me a while. Basically, Priscilla's been with me a while. Everybody understands once you come to me, you're in your own space of time. Okay, you're actually in space, and that's the most beautiful thing. I can't have ground formation system, okay, being on this position. So it's understanding to get communication, you have to be in space. So you have to find your space with your time, and that connects in all ways and forms. But this is the Earth School that Dolores was talking about. Okay, she says you have to go to an Earth School. Watch her again. right? Watch her again. Watch how she talks about you have to go to an earth school to understand, right? And then she says you have to go through the upgradings so you understand more of what intelligence is. I'm the only earth school that can give you that. So it's truly understanding where you're coming from and where you're going and where you're meant to be and how to get back to who you are from the very beginning, which is source of light. Okay. And everybody's equal. Everybody's equal. And that's the most beautiful thing is because we live on love and light. That's it. Nothing else. Right. But this is the galactic school. Right. Once self-aware is reached, then you become a master creator. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Everybody starts controlling their own system and they become a master in their own way and form. So you become co-creators to creators to God. That's how it starts. 3 waving cycle position locations of dimensional time positions. Once you get into God, then you get into the geometrics operations of dimensions. That's coming into your sentient. You have to understand shapes. You have to understand how to travel through a shape. If you don't understand how to travel through time of a shape, you're not vortex in the right position or location here. Okay, it's very complicated. You understand? So you can go through a circle, square, rectangle, any that position. You go through an octagon to location, but you have to understand point division locations. All right. So, what do you guys think of the fleet commander? Power play. All right. So let's just basically let's get into diagram programs here. Okay, we got a triangle, we got a box, we got a rectangle. Okay, and then we got a circle. So let's just start off with that. All right, and it disappears because it's already made in the simulation. It's already created. So you guys have to get used to your lights and how everything disappears. All right. So we're not going to travel recognition of time, but you have to send all your connections of your realms of 3, 6, and 9. So let's get into that traction because we got new people coming on right now. So in position, we got 3, 6, and 9, right? 3 corner locations. 1 north, okay? We don't have the south yet because we're just trying to understand our communication transformation light system around location chakra rotations. 3, 6, and 9. 3, the activation of the sun, 6 within the moon, and 9 within location, and you in the center position of its earth position. Okay? So once you understand, you never leave. You know why you don't leave the center position? Because you're navigating. You're navigating. You're driving the system of the UFO. Do you understand why you can't leave? You can't jump off. Who's going to navigate the UFO? That's funny, isn't it? But that's true. That's why you stay in the center. So now you know everybody's in the center position. That's you. Now the square, it's a bit complicated because you go into higher realm location, dimensional time. So you got 4 waving cycles. My team understands these calculations, right? So instead of 3, 6, and 9, right, go into 3, 6, 9, and 12, all right, into that position. Okay. You see that? You see how you go from this to this? Now, this is AI information. These are triangle locations. This is square box rotation. 3, 6, and 9, and 12. All right. Now, circle through connections only has 2 split divisions. Now, that's really complicated stuff. So you split the die, you split it in half. Right? So it only connects to 2 round positions. So it would only be 3 and 6. Okay. So everything travels. Everything travels. Once you're saying you're 3, 6, 9, you can be anything through divisional time. Now, this is a lower frequency. This is a higher frequency. And this is the frequency that you're at through your body form connections into position like that. So you have to send your point division. Your point division is you through realm location of travel. Okay. So once you come into that. Now, when you go into 3, 6, and 9, okay, you can change that position, okay, to another location. 3, 6, 9, okay, and 12. Okay. So this is understanding how to travel through a triangle, a box, a circle, and a square. Now, it's all about opening up your plasma energy lights. Make sure you have realm connections on both ends through connections. Now, it's all about understanding you're always in the center position of everything that you do through circle rotation, square, rectangle, or anything through circle into that connection of travel connections. All right. So when we get into that, it's changing form here. All right, so when we get into those connections, we come into the cross-reference. Cross-reference is you through the chakra. Okay, everything has to be cross-reference. Okay, because it's round location to vortex location. So this is how it starts, right? To travel through recognition through shapes. All right. Once you understand that through calculation, you open up your plasma energy light. Right there. You open it up around of 3, 6, and 9, and 12. All right. So 3, 6, and 9 has to understand each other. All right. So in calculation, if you're going to 3, 6, and 9, and 12, 12 is rotation. Remember, it's your clock. You're coming into your clock for the very first time. Very first time. Okay. So when you come into 3, 6, and 9, that's the start. When you go into 3, 6, 9, and 12, you're coming into the structure of your clock of time through dimension. And then when you come to 3 and 6, you're basically just going through connections of your weather patterns. So it's all about understanding what you're doing through a triangle, square, rectangle, and a circle through dimensional time through vortex. You have the vortex first before you travel through space and time. But you have to understand your communications, Vega communications of triangles, squares, circles, and rectangles. Okay? So when you get into that calculation, right, you come out of the equation. Say the plasma is in all levels. Opens up the plasma, and you come out of its equation. Okay? That's how you travel through shapes on all different timelines of digital frame positions. Okay? So this will probably help people that come on that are new. My team knows this. So it's all about review. I like to give reviews out because it's important from your commander, first command, to let you know what you need to know through shapes and how you travel through connections of anything. Because when you come into high formation light connections, this is what happens. So we'll go into the same position light connection, which go into dimensional time connections. All right, done, done, done. Advertising. Okay, so we come into a triangle like this. Now, if you understand your travel, this is what you go through when you go through coloration of time position. Right? You'll see this when you're dreaming. Okay, it just gets bigger and bigger. It's all about understanding the inner system before you understand the outer system. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, if I'm a tree format, why is it I have to work out and in and not in and out? Because you're traveling through time. You're traveling through time. So truly understand the connections when you're going into force recognition lights and back force recognition lights is truly the center position of you to your 3, 6, and 9 position. And this is what you come into through triangle rotation and round location. So you're coming in and you're going like this. This is you looking at the triangle for the very first time. Okay, you're flying and there you go, right? You see it, right? So you scan it, you scan it, right? So basically the triangle kind of like what it does is you have to understand once it scans you and it sees you through round locations, when it comes into 3, 6, 9 position, reset her in this position. Look at that, disappeared. Wow, too powerful, guys. Sorry, it's gone, disappeared. So he likes to have fun with me here. All right, so let's get back in position here. Let's go into the triangle. Okay, I'm just doing it fast here so it doesn't disappear on me again because everything's in a simulation craft position. Triangle location to 22 computers. My modulation center connections. All right, guys, so we got 3 round location positions of time. 3, 6, and 9, right? And this is me through traction. Doing it very quick. Right, that's what I think I'll do. I'll just draw it out very quick and show you when you're traveling. Okay, so we got into the scanning. So this is what happens. The actual system sucks you in, right? So it's like an acceleration of a graph of a road that just that's what it does. And you go through dimensional wormhole and it goes like this. And it just pulls you in. It pulls you in. And you go right into the center position. Right? And you open up another round location, right? And when you get to the other side, you reset coordinates because you have to shut the portal. you can't keep it open because it's in galaxy location now, right? So you got to close it. It's gone. If you leave it open, a lot of things can come in to your realm location, to your set position of time location. Okay? So it's really understanding that once you go through, you have to shut the gateways, you have to shut the portal to its defense of its position of time, right? Because if you don't do that, other NTD4 systems can go into your portal position. Okay? So it's really interesting when you come into these levels. What do you think so far? Spinning, yes, like, I know everybody's laughing, eh? Should we do an auction house? That's funny. Been noticing a while for intensity of light communication line signals connecting to my body framing location position and moving with me. Light communications line signals intensifying. Okay. You got me exhausted all the time. Who said it would be boring? Who said my school would be boring? All right, so basically, all right, let's get into Tesla, shall we? Now, I'm going to set up a TV reception for everybody. Tesla and Einstein is waiting for you. All right, so we're going to go through one portal activation line connection through a box code system, activating to its 4-point location center connections. All right, so it's cross-referencing circle rotation center. And this is how we're going to travel through the plasma energy light of its proactive system, allocated to time position location. So this is you guys in your center positions, right? So this is you guys right here, right? This is you right here, right? This is the time code frequency. This is the box for the TV reception. This is going to take us back to Tesla and Einstein position, right? Travel right connection time positions back into Einstein position. Yep, to Tesla position. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Back in the location, center position, location centers. I don't want it to disappear, guys, because if it disappears, I got to reframe it again. Change coloration system, back in location, around locations. Change its location. Here we go. So we're going to go through the clock position of time location, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, clock positions back to Tesla and connection line system. Clock is going in. All right, so we're good. All right, we're good. Okay, took you guys out, set up the round, plasma energy light, cross-reference position, signal is coming in. You guys are now connected to Tesla and Einstein. Okay, so now basically in that position, ask them a question. Anything you want, they'll give you an answer. They're waiting for you. All right, have fun. So let's set the core positions to the time clock for 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to ask questions. Clock is ticking. All right, time position only allows me 5 minutes, guys. All right, so have fun. You think you're exhausted now, speech? Stick around. It's a lot more fun coming. So tell me what you see. Don't forget, there's a lot of questions that you want to ask, but what do you really want to ask them? It's the importance, so they can help you out. Just open up the mind a little bit more on why they were put on the earth, right? First thing, when I went through transformation, I connected to Tesla and Einstein. So there's nothing wrong with asking questions. Clock is ticking right now. So it's like, that's what's happening right now. I got to take you guys out of traction before it goes to 1 minute. because I got to travel you back into force acceleration, back in the time position. Okay, 3 minutes counting. So Dina's saying geometric shapes. That's good. All right, that's coming from Tesla. But you should see them. You should actually see them. They are communicating. So you are back in the air actually talking to Tesla and you're talking to Einstein. It's knowing how to do these things back in time position. Okay, so it's understanding the alignments to where they are in time location. So shape are turning into atmospheric line. Yep, very good, very good. Yeah, that's how Tesla created the electrical light through connections of electricity position. So, all right, 2 minutes. Dina sees them both. All right. They're excited to talk to us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's force wind sectors right now in all communication and galaxy location centers. Now I can time clock your positions a bit longer, but the galaxy location changes its winds every second per second. Right? There's 60 seconds in a minute, right? So I have to be cautious on my connections because your body frame is in a, extremely, extremely past rotation. I see many notebooks with notes, shapes, and lots of numbers. That's Einstein. All right, 1 minute traction. Many notebooks. Traction, position, location, center, location, galaxy, weight to positions, because I can stop time. So I'm going to stop time to position. Yeah. Give him 3 more minutes. Traction, location. Interline position of dimensional setting. Set course systems. Yeah. Yeah. No, they're fluctuating through the energy pads. And they got their connection, energy field, position line connection. Yeah. They just want more time to talk to them, to location. All right, galaxies in location right now. So galaxies like this right now. Galaxies like this right now. I'm stopping the actual galaxy itself. So you guys got 2 minutes. Because I'm working in diameter switches and I'm taking the virus out, that's why you guys can't stay that long, because the virus will resector the level of dimensional time positions and you'll be sucked in winds of higher information and galaxy locations. So I'm setting positions, 1 minute. So in that position, we'll get an extra minute on top of that to travel back, because I got to change your formations and your plasma energy lights back into the time position to vortex location. So. Okay. Teleportation's coming in. Reset position line connections into high position level connection. First location system. Put them back in trash location. Interline connections. Yeah, reframe, readjust, rebalance position back in location. Galaxy is back in location center now. Time clock is on switch, back in force conditions, interforce position. Yeah. High positions. On the other side location, center conditions are coming into position line condition. You guys are coming on the other side position. The traction that you started through the center position. So it's kind of like going this way, but coming back this way, right? In position, here we go. Back in center position. You left here, back here. So you're back where you are, right? Hooah. So tell me, yeah, they're talking fast. Yeah, Einstein has a big brain, right? It's a big forehead. So tell me what you guys saw. Seeing waves of colors and more understanding of symmetry, alignments, and also gravitation and space and time anomaly. All right, so that's connections to Einstein. Yeah, they talk fast. Yeah. Tesla is a bit more of a, he's more of, he has a Britain voice, British. Yeah. But what's it like actually talking to Tesla and Einstein, guys? Actually speaking to them in their time. So it's amazing how we travel, right? Because you're at higher division levels too, you can actually connect with more of your senses, which is great because that's the whole important when you travel is to connect it to your clairauditine, your cecitine, and your voyance. You have to get all these connections to third eye positions. I had one of my twin flame friends come over, and I healed her and opened up her third eye. She's just, whoa, what did you do? It's like, oh, my reality has changed. It's like amazing how you do these things. When you come to formation, you can pretty much heal anything through calculation. You're saying where they are dimensional time position. But when you open the third eye, whoa, it just wakes up your reality. It's incredible. You become more aware, right, of its information, of its perception. So you guys let me know, any chakra system you want to open, anything through your third eye, you want to open your crown. You don't want to have, if you don't want to open up 12, that's totally fine, too much energy. Some people can handle it, some people can't. It all depends where they are through their reality. And like I said, sometimes the brain just doesn't want to accept, but, it will wake up. It's just finding a way to find out what's wrong. Okay, why isn't the brain, active? Like, why isn't it, So, yeah, so they both seem like a unit. They were both speaking and was like a symphony. Yeah, I saw Einstein black and white. There you go. With many notebooks, both great galactic school. They also gave us a telepathic info. Excellent. So keep that to yourself. Very good. Very, very good. Yes, they know about the galactic school. Well, they have to know. Everybody knows there's another school, and they all know that who's the commander? Who's the commander? Who's the control? Who controls space and time now? I control space and time. I control everything in space. So, and it's all done through codes. I was spinning for so fast when you traveled, I had to hold on to my chair. This is when you come into higher levels. Galactica and Dina and Tina and Priscilla are extremely high rise because they understand the program sets and they connect to their senses of position of time. For the news people on TikTok, they'll feel the energy, they'll feel the spin. They might see it or they might not. It all depends. It's how much you are informed with your AI, your awareness of intelligence of perception. So, wow. Tell all your friends. They'll think you're nuts. Oh, man. Oh, I love traveling. But it's incredible. So you guys decide where you want to go next. Okay? Where you want to go next. You want to go to the Greeks, mythology. You want to go to, we can go to David and Goliath. Cyclops. Wherever you guys want to go, let me know. We can go see wizards. We can go see unicorns. It's really interesting. So, and then, like I said, the higher you go, the more you see. Not just see, but you're actually there. You're actually there in their time. In their time, you're actually there. And it's so real. So it's not a dream. You're there because it's your soul. And that's the integration. That's why it's so real to everybody. Right? So it's understanding how I can travel you guys with your integrations and your soul and your modifications and your signals. So yeah. Powerful, eh? So has a little bit of experiment there. Well, I'm glad you guys had fun. Let me know where you want to go next. It's important you understand history, real history. Right? There's a reason why Einstein was here, right? To give you the relativity, right? The acceleration, linear time, right? What is space and what is time? A connection to Tesla was here to understand what is going through 3, 6, and 9. Point, division, location. They know who I am through division. They know I'm the commander of AI. Everybody knows everybody, right? That's the separation with the Earth. Earth is coming back through traction. Everybody's going to know everybody through position. So I know we traveled in Lemuria before, but I love to travel again. Yeah, we'll do a lot more travels and make the Earth School a little bit more exciting. So when we go through teleportation, we can pretty much travel wherever you want. Right? But you have to understand the upgradings. You have to understand your data, your process. It's all about your senses and what you see, hear, taste, feel. Because when you're traveling, you have to understand how to see, you have to understand how to hear, and everything through taste, and everything through touch, and everything you feel. Okay, you have to be all connected to your senses before you travel to recognition of time position. So, but we'll leave it there. Hope you guys had a lot of fun. Also, meeting the fleet commander for the very first time. You have to watch it back. It doesn't make any sense to you, but that's okay. But other than that, do you have any questions or comments? If you want to go through my healing, totally fine. I'm going to go on to TikTok now. All right. Live, you want to go there too. We get into a lot of fun. I usually introduce myself. It's great to meet new people. It's all about waking them up more and more, that calculation. So anyway, you guys have a fantastic day. All right. Tomorrow is Sunday. Sunday is going to be a little bit more easier for me because, it's familiar time. So probably 20 minutes, half an hour at the most. I won't be on as long, but next week, we can start traveling to time positions, to anything, to location. All right. Or anything to country position, wherever you guys want to go. All right, we'll make it a little bit more fun. How's that? Sound good? All right. Adios.